Going
All right,
live.
y'all. We're gonna start the introduction. We're not even gonna talk. We go right into the video.
I can't hear the video.
You can't hear it?
Nah, I can hear you, but I can't hear the video.
All right, hold up. All right, I'm sorry for the mix-up, guys. Let's try again.
I'm back, bitch.
Fame ain't a bad, this time for celebration. Bet I still got the best head in the nation. Got a little better, yup, pussy got wetter. Still telling broke hoes, get your shit together. Pussy on ocean and it's flowing like Atlantic. Hit her with the head down, near make a panic. You bitches can't stand me, but they nigga ain't complaining. You might be bad, bitch, promise you ain't famous, ain't me? Famous ain't me bad, can these niggas still choosing? Still got that super soap, I'm talking good pussy. Your head got better, pussy got fatter, stupid tatted up. That's why these hoes can't stand up. Got my shit together and my money looking right. Pussy dripping cushion hair, yeah, it's still tight. Live famous aim to take your money one night and get a nigga back in one night. That right? I'ma show you what a 5-star look like. The one a 5-star then pay a 5-star price. Now with famous aiming, that's a 5-star flight. Marriott Suite, we had a 5-star night. Get your shit together, that's a 5-star advice. BBS shining, that's a 5-star ice. Miss famous aiming, live a 5-star life. Popping bottles all night. Welcome to the good life. Famous aiming bad, this time for celebration. Bet I still got the best head in the nation. Got a little better, young pussy got wetter. Still telling broke hoes, get your shit together. Pussy on ocean and it's flowing like Atlantic. Hit her with the head down, near make a.
All right, y'all. I hit you in the head with the Famey Amy.
In the head, bro. That thing was crazy.
Yeah.
That's how you doing it?
Yeah, it's Famey Amy, bro. You never heard of Famey Amy?
Nah.
All right, well,
Nah.
I just found out.
That really wasn't healthy. Really.
No, Amy. You can't fuck with Amy.
That really wasn't healthy, to be honest.
All right. First video. What's
What up, everybody?
all right. Let's watch this video. See what's going on. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Mr. Weatherall.
Oh man.
So what you think about this? Gotta unmute.
Oh man, did I send this to you?
Nah, you didn't send it.
I meant to send this to you. I saw it. So you know that's a boy, right?
Yeah, no, I fully understand.
I know. I want to show if you do. So do you know where he's at?
Well, where is he?
I believe that's New Orleans in the what's that parade down there? Freaking it's like some type of Mardi Gras event that was happening in New Orleans, some type of trans LGBTQ type thing they had going on down in New Orleans. So that means you ain't look at the comments. You ain't look at the comments. Where did you see it at? What was that, on Instagram?
Facebook.
Facebook. Oh, yeah, I think it was originally posted on Twitter. I said, how old you think that boy is?
Maybe I don't know, 14, 12.
Yeah,
Probably.
somewhere between 12 and 14.
Yeah.
You see the other little boys next to him?
Yeah.
I mean, so what you think?
I think that the time we are in has really, showed itself. You know how I don't know if it's the Bible or whatever, but they got like different periods.
Yeah.
Before Rome, before we got to before Rome, I think it's called I can't remember, but there's a period right before bestiality. I can't probably if I can say this on YouTube or whatever, but we going right to the point where there'll be a lot of homosexuality, men sleeping with men, girls sleeping with girls. There's a bunch of crazy stuff, and next they're gonna be sleeping with animals and etc.
Oh, you think the animals is next?
Oh yeah, of course.
So have you seen in parts of the world they're legalizing pedophilia?
Oh yeah, well that's next 5 years. People will be having sex with children in the next 5 years.
Well, how does that make you feel?
Well, at the end of the day, make me. Well, I don't really indulge in feelings, but if I had to come up with a statement to describe how I may, feel,
Yeah.
I'm disgusted. I am scared for humanity. I'm scared for the future.
So what? All right, let me ask you a follow up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Is your disgust? Is your disgust towards this targeted at you don't think people should be allowed to do it, or is your disgust towards this coming from a place of where you don't want to be forced to agree with it? Because I feel like there's kind of two areas there, or not to say arguments, but just kind of two sides to where people either people have these feelings or opinions towards, if you want to say the LGBTQ plus movement or the trans movement is. So I just want to get clarity now for the audience, because some people think that, and I'm not trying to speak for you, but I think it's automatically assumed that if you have any opinion that's not in alignment with the majority, then it's like a hate type thing. So I don't want your thoughts to be misconstrued as, oh, you hate people, or that you got a hatred towards anything, not unless that's how you feel. So that's why I asked that. Like, it's when you say disgust, I think that you should give that clarity so that it's interpreted properly from the people that will view this now or later. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not that bro, I'm not gonna want me to sugarcoat it and play this game with you and say, hey,
no. I want you to be honest.
Homosexuality. Do I think homosexuality is good? Do I think homosexuals should be around children? No.
Got you.
And it goes against mostly every religion. Like mostly every religion says this stuff is wrong. Even morally, I believe that even morally, people know that it's not right. And now you see this falling into our children, or to the children, or to the tomorrow America. And this is what you see: little boys acting like they have bras on and shaking and shaking and shaking. And even in the teenagers, we got the young people dancing like the males are literally shaking their hips. And well, you can't really talk about this stuff because
yeah, you'd be crucified.
That's right.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I don't have people, believe what you want to believe, do what you want to do. I think my biggest issue with it is it it at least feels like so, it at least feel like, you know, almost like I said, if you have any opinion, then you're automatically hating. You're automatically looking to target or discriminate or people, and I don't have an issue with people. People do what they want, believe what they want. Hey, practice whatever you want to practice. I just don't think that you should be allowed to make me have to believe what you believe or even agree with whatever you agree with. Like if you or a male that feels as though you a female and that's the world you want to live in and that's how you want to operate, so be it. Go do you. I just don't want to feel like, okay, now because you have determined that this is what you believe, this is what you agree with, this is how you feel, this is what you think, that the world and the world around you has to now conform to that.
Well, yeah, well, I like the way you're thinking, but however, the world is conforming to it. So, what do you think about the children that now has to go to school and have to endure this? What do you think? Do you think that the straight male should now have to, the kid, a straight male child, should now have to go to school and be around the homosexual child, or have to endure this that stuff?
Well, I think the kids should be off limits, just like they should be on every subject. Like I think that historically, that's kind of been the case to try to guard, kids from, like even if we wasn't talking, gender or homosexuality, those things, those preferences. I always at least wanted to assume that the idea was that we would guard kids as much as possible from the world because they were innocent and allow them to get to a stage in life where they could choose their path for themselves, you know? So even if you take out, obviously whatever your beliefs are or whatever my beliefs are, when you start now talking about integrating kids into society, things like, your school system and the curriculums and
Building your
things like that were supposed to be, as neutral as possible, if you want to say, to give kids their best chance to go and determine who they was going to be. You see what I'm saying? Like, so for the most part, public schools don't sway you on religion. You see what I'm saying? Or don't sway you on politics. You see how? So that's kind of where my point is stemming from, and not saying that it, you know, because when you think about the argument to remove prayer and things from school, that was because people said, hey, you know, I don't want my kids to basically be forced to take on, if you wanted to say, quote unquote, Christian practices, or happen to pray in school, or happen to even to the Pledge of Allegiance, where that part, things like that. They remove certain things from schools to try to make them, as I guess you want to say, neutral when it comes to certain subjects as possible. But now you see, if you follow some of your politics, where there are states, there are school systems where they want to integrate curriculums in regards to this, or to your point, happen to go to school and having your child happen to deal with the fact that, well, there's a transgender boy on my track team. You know what I'm saying? I'm a female, and now they're winning every heat, every event. Well, because naturally a male is different than a female. This is why you have male sports, female sports. So you start to get into these unknown kind of gray areas, and kids are forced to try to navigate these things. And I don't think that that's fair. So to your point, I don't like that these things are coming into arenas such as school, um, and the politics and things are becoming or coming into schools, and things like, okay, gender and sexuality and these things are entering into schools, and now kids are having to navigate these things. Heck, if not make choices real early. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? What are you? And being faced with some topics that are probably beyond, their capacity at this stage in life.
You know, I just want to insert this little video here so you guys just don't forget about this.
To hate, we're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them. Your children will care about fairness and justice for others. Your children will work to convert all their sisters and brothers. You think we're sinful? You fight against our rights. You say we all lead lives you can't respect. But you're just frightened. You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked. Funny, just this once, you're correct. We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep them from disco, warn about San Francisco, make him wear pleated pants, we don't care. We'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant and fair.
Well, there you go, right there.
Hey, I could you see a world where, let's just say, once upon a time, people were, I don't want to say afraid, but I guess that's the only way I could think of right now, where people, there once upon a time, let's just say, people didn't forecast or not even say forecast is the wrong word, but people didn't really this whole idea of people kind of being in the closet or out the closet. And for a long time people were on the down low or in the closet in regards to their sexuality, their sexual preferences. And could you foresee a world where all the people who aren't like that, the world kind of does a reverse to where we the ones that got to go in the closet?
That's what I was pretty much leading you to when I asked you about, the kids having to go to the same school. Because eventually, they gonna tell you to homeschool your kid. If you don't want your kid to have to deal with homosexuality, take your kid and put them through virtual learning.
Gotcha.
You understand?
So
So inversely, putting you in that closet, putting you have to go hide out and going to have to do other things, so you don't have to. So just like they had to hide from you, run from you. Now you running from them and hiding from them.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what's on the horizon.
No question about it, man.
That's just my take on it. Because to me, it's you see it in small doses of where it's almost like that's just like I think that's the future, like to where the world is going to go with this, especially because it's becoming so political and it's becoming a part of your rights, and you got the court of public opinion called social media, and how now God forbid you have an opinion on something, you could be targeted. What I mean, people is losing their jobs because they posted an opinion on a social media platform. And you see the power of that and how that's being cultivated to where this isn't even talking about, it's no longer about right or wrong or justice or, even breaking the law per se. It's really, really now in a sector of or a realm where the judges of social media have more power than the courts, because a person can literally, as a response to your opinion, contact your job, get you fired. They just dictated how you gonna feed your family.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful. Like you ain't break no laws. You ain't commit a crime. You got into expressing yourself on social media, and now your what was supposed to be your constitutional First Amendment right of free speech has just got you fired. Has just caused you to possibly have to question how you're going to feed and provide for your family.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, in my opinion, and again, I'm no psychic, no prophetess, nothing of the sort, but to me, that right there is going to be leveraged heavily in the world to come, where it ain't going to matter what the courts say. You're going to have if the whole majority is against you and they are influencing what's now defined to be right, well, it won't, all that other stuff's not going to matter. This is why you can have a person like a Kyrie Irving who had was suspended from basketball. His job was in question, lost his Nike endorsement, lost other endorsements, had to pay millions of dollars, had to go and, do all these different things in a response to a Twitter post. Like a Twitter post, and not where he, not even his, direct words that were being used against him, but he shared a documentary that's available on a public market. Like, think about that. Think about that. He shared a link of a documentary that's currently available.
This was the guy that did the movie, right?
I'm talking about Kyrie Irving. He shared that movie.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's all he did was, I know.
Yeah, like really so this it wasn't even like he went on social media and had this crazy rant and cursed the people and was some of the things you see people have done that's like, man, you asking to lose your job. Like you went out, you must have wanted to get fired because you out here, you are attacking people. You are, you're being racist or, all these different things that kind of come up that you're seeing people end up, jeopardizing their livelihoods because of how they represented themselves and ultimately represented the company that they work for. And it's nothing against, like, look, this ain't me. I got nothing against Kyrie. I got nothing against the people that got an opposite opinion of him, or didn't quite agree with him. This isn't a matter of agreeing with one side or the other. I'm just saying that's a very powerful entity. This thing called the law or court of social media or public opinion that now has the power to impact your life on a daily basis. I'm talking about your ability to feed your family.
Dictatorship.
Yeah, and it's about the majority and the reason why I say that's a scary thing, because at least, and not to say I'm not even the most political or to say I'm just in alignment with the Constitution or laws and all these things like that, but at least if you say, hey, this is the law and you are committing a crime, well, then that's a different conversation. There's due process on that. You see what I'm saying? Like, you could hire you an attorney. You can now go fight this court case, and you're going to go through what they call due process. You're going to get your day in court, and, not saying, look, and I'm not getting into the technicalities of the court systems being 100%, I guess, innocent, and it's just, and this, that, and the third. But I'm just saying there is some process there that happens before you at least get thrown into jail, or at least get hit with a fine, or at least not have your life impacted. There's some options there, but in the land and the court of public opinion, nah. Once they have labeled you, once they have said this is it, that's it. Ain't no court. Ain't no. You can't hire no attorney to fight that. Who you fighting? it's millions of people who have said, "Nah, you're anti-Semitic, or you're this, or you're that, or you hate trans, or whatever, you homophobic, whatever." And now, because of where the world is and how sensitive these conversations are, it almost jeopardizes your ability to have, this First Amendment right. And I just want to put out there, I don't know if people are really
No,
noticing
no,
this.
no, 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 no. I'm tired of this. Who don't got a First Amendment right is the straight male. The straight male is the one that got to shut up. That female and that homosexual can say whatever and do whatever they want. Watch social media. Look at social media. They can literally show pussy lips on social media, and no, it won't get flagged. All I gotta do is make a post saying single mothers is a problem, and I'm gonna get taken down. So I'm hate speech. So
Exactly. Yep.
so no, we the only ones that can't say the truth. They shutting down the masculine male. They making him just if it didn't work from his single mother, it's go work through the social media. You know.
And that's kind of the point where I'm getting to. It's like where already, if you have your eyes open and you're looking at these things, you can already see the targets that's out there. People just not really paying attention to it. And I only see that this is going to evolve to where not only will it be, as you said, like the masculine male or the straight male, but I believe this is going to graduate and evolve to a place that anybody, any entity, any individual, no matter what race, color, creed, background you are, no matter wealth, class, if you are not in alignment with this new world, yeah, you done for. You're going to have a target on your head. And it's going to start with this power of the court of public opinion.
And that's why anybody that wants to say the truth, you got to get some type of banner to put over you to say, hey, I'm with this group, so you can't mess with it. So you got to come like a Muslim, a Christian. You got to come something to be able to say, hey.
I think that even that's going to, I think it's going to graduate to a place to where, especially the quote unquote Christian.
Yeah, the Christian might get knocked out first.
Christian about to get knocked off.
But you ain't gonna go get with the Muslims.
The Christian I think the Muslims, I think anybody that does not bend the knee is gonna get knocked off.
Nah, bro.
I think
follow the Bible, bro. Them,
bro,
and them.
Bro,
I want to say the Jays, but they a little homo anyway.
Bro, they in cahoots. If you start to look at if you start to really put a micro lens.
Oh no, I know they all cahoots because listen, one couldn't have one couldn't be there without the other. So they couldn't, bro. When you start doing the history on this stuff, like the black Muslims, they couldn't be there without Jesus, without Christianity. So they kind of like made Christianity the father and made everybody else follow his story. If you really follow the timeline or whatever, So that's why if certain things didn't happen in the Bible, in the Christian Bible, they wouldn't be able to make the black Muslims. But that's something. Let's go back to the next. Let's go to the next video.
Make you, Zeus, to be my lawfully wedded financial supporter. I vow to stress you the fuck out and eat off your plate for the rest of our lives.
Hold up. Let's rewind it.
I, Danielle, take you, Zeus, to be my lawfully wedded financial supporter. I vow to stress you the fuck out and eat off your plate for the rest of our lives. I will go through your phone in sickness and in health and accuse you of cheating whether I have found proof or not. I promise to gain weight and let myself go until you no longer want to stick your penis inside of me. When times get rough between us, I will complain more and listen less, never pray about it, and make us both look stupid by airing all of our business on Facebook. And even though I got pregnant on purpose to trap you into marrying me, I still won't tell you about all the guys I let slut me out. I vow to love you for the rest of my life and never, ever leave you. As long as you don't lose your good-paying job with benefits, or I'll leave you for someone with good dick and money. I love you.
And this is the average day woman right here. There you go, right. This is it. This is it. Ooh, ta-da! When you can't hear you on mute. You on mute. You on mute. You on mute. Let me unmute you. I can't because you muted yourself. Unmute yourself.
I don't know why my screen like zoomed all the way in to where I couldn't see the buttons.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I don't know, man. I can't see every woman's like that.
Here you go.
It's a little like I can't hate on all of them. It's some bad ones out there, man. Like, but I think part of it is too is that because there's such, in my opinion, and again, I'm no professional. Y'all ain't got to follow what I think, but here's my thoughts. I think because there's such an attack too on family, on the man, woman, family, and that dynamic. I mean, even down there's an attack, in my opinion, or an agenda on the family construct as far as a man, woman, and children. And then there's an agenda on the male itself, being a real male, a masculine male. But then there's also, I believe, an agenda against a woman actually just simply being a woman who's safe in her femininity and safe and secure and identifying with, some of these traditional things that we know women to be. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that agenda is there and it's rooted to break the family, break the male as well as the female, or at least the male, as far as husband, wife, father, mother, which ultimately roots to male, female, because of the things that we kind of touched on in this new world. This new world is a world that's not going to be established on the construct of family.
No, this new world is based on computer individualism. It's not based on like that worked for the 50s. They wanted that for the 50s, but not now. Now it's on like I told you, individualism, more about being on the network. You know what I'm saying? Being on the computer. That's why they introduced a lot of working from home jobs, and now with the AI, I don't know if you know that about the AI, but that's taken over a lot. And they've been talking about this for like last 20 years, and nobody really been paying attention. They talk about it, but they just like, oh, it's the future. It's the future. It's gonna be so far from now. And they really can't see it happening right in front of their face. The world is changing. Nobody really taking time. And I agree with you on a lot of on a lot of your statements, but
Yeah, I just think that that's the heart of it is that the world that's coming is not a world that wants to identify that family is a threat to it. Family in the sense of husband, wife, mother, father. Because it's a threat to the overall new image of what gender should be, what sexuality is going to be, what's the new rights, wrongs, morals, justice. It's a threat to that.
Now, when you really take a step back and really look at it, that is just called control, And once they make this, because it's like all they needed, like that song, "We coming for your children," because we only need the children. We don't need you anymore. You're done. You already did it. You already fucked. You already messed up society. You know what I'm saying? You did everything that we already put on TV already. You already was the guinea pig. You already done. You know what I'm saying?
So, what do you think that the goal of this is?
Go to what? It's just
The-
to bring the Bible to light.
To break, when you say that, what do you mean?
Everything that the Bible said, they gonna bring it to truth. They gonna bring it. They gonna make it happen.
So, you saying they want to make it happen, or you saying the Bible already predicted it to happen?
I'm not gonna go with it, bro.
Well, I'm just saying because
Me,
that's two different things. Like
you want
to
to
say,
fight me? No, listen. If you want to say the Bible, listen. I'm going for both sides.
I'm
I'm
not.
going with, yeah,
I'm
the
not.
Bible predicted it. How about this? How about this? Yes, the Bible predicted it, and also the people that control the Bible is now making sure things happen. You know.
But what would be the goal? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's you? I'm really just trying to understand. So,
Yeah.
are you saying that people are engineering?
Yeah. It's
Basically
people
the
engineering this. Is who? Hold on. I want to break this down.
All right, let's
It's-
break it down for me. I want some
Hold
help
on.
here.
Hold on. Are they engineering social media?
I assume so. Yeah. I
Okay.
would say.
Are they engineering television?
I would say so. Yes.
Are they engineering education?
Yes.
All right, then. I believe that they are engineering the world to be. Are they engineering wars and all the crap that everything that's happening right in front of your face? Are they even the weather?
But my point is
Go ahead.
if when you say they're engineering this to have the Bible fulfilled or whatever the Bible said to make that happen,
Yeah.
then what's their goal? You see what I'm saying? Are you saying that these are people who are, I guess, Jesus Christ believers and they're manipulating things to force this second coming of Jesus Christ? Or like what's their goal in this? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like what based on what you said, it's what you said would have me think, okay, these are some biblically religious people who have band together to say we're going
Bro,
to
not every
force
religion.
the Bible. No. I'm just saying, like, let's just go on this little ride, right? So we got to a stop in this ride where it says the sign says there are people out here manipulating and engineering the world to make whatever the Bible is saying be true or happen, right? To make it happen. So I'm saying, what's their goal or what's their reward for making this happen?
Ask the same, bro. It's like asking the question, what do they get out of drinking people's blood? What do they get out of pedophilia? What do they get out of all this stuff? It's like this. Not it's a. I think it's a rhetorical question because I can't.
Well,
give you
no,
the answer
I
to
say
You
that
gotta ask
because
these people what they get out of it.
I say that because
sick people is sick. I don't know what sickness get from sickness. I don't know. You gotta ask some people.
Well, I say that because if it's
dopamine,
if it's being engineered to make the Bible right or to fulfill whatever the Bible says is going to happen, then these people would know that. Let's say the Bible is right? I don't know, because I don't know if it's the Bible is right or if it's the Bible is not right, but they're engineering it to make it right. So that's what I'm saying. There's two dynamics.
Whatever it is, it's all together. But I don't care. They're all one entity to me.
But my point is,
it's like go ahead.
I guess the point I'm trying to get to is that, okay, let's assume the Bible's right, just for kicks and giggles. Let's just say it's right. So if it is right, that means these people would be seeking this God entity to come and judge them.
Say one more time.
If the Bible is right, let's just hypothetical. Let's say the Bible is right. And these people are doing these things that the Bible basically say things that are wrong, but it foretold that they're going to happen due to people and all the other things. Not to get too deep, but in the 1+1 type version of Bible that we're going to touch on, if the Bible's right and it's saying that the world is going to experience these certain things as a result of man or humans not following God, not following his teachings, not believing this, that, all this other stuff, this is the world that they're going to create, a godless, lawless world full of perversion. And based on what you're saying, if they're going to engineer this, so they basically are dedicated and committed to doing everything necessary to be in opposition to God. Yeah, like to be in opposition to God, then they also would be if you lack for better words, hastening a judgment. You see what I'm saying? So it's either A, they believe the Bible, or A, no, they really don't believe. They believe in something else, and
they believe in something else, but they having you believe in whatever else. But they are doing the things in whatever that study or whatever that real Bible says. They doing that. They understanding that. They already doing the timeline, and that part is right. Whatever. I don't know nothing, bro. I'm not no super. I'm not even trying to feed into. Hold on.
I ain't saying you are. I'm just
la. You hold your britches. Again, I'm not no big conspiracy theory, but teller. But I just believe that a lot of this stuff is pushed.
So I'll give you my version.
Just like you just said earlier, just like you gave the cape for the woman. Oh, she's being used and this, that, and third. Well, everybody else is still being used too.
Oh no, I definitely believe that there is. I'll put it like this: there's definitely, and this. I'm not telling nobody to believe what I believe, but there is a satanic agenda out there, and that's where you see, or this is what you're going to see or beginning to see in its fullness of what's happening in the world. And to your point, I will say this as well. There are people who have, I guess the best way I could put it, they have a belief system and they have an interpretation of that belief system that does play a role into the things that they want to see in the world. And to your point, that does contribute or is the motivation for a world where there is no family construct. There is no male construct. But there's a reason for that. And I'm not here to make anybody believe what I believe, but it's because they are in direct opposition to this thing we call God. Because if God's blueprint or construct was for a man to be a male, to be the head, to be this authority, to have dominion in the earth, then to destroy that dominion, to turn men into something other than that, that's a direct attack on this deity called God, who created man, who also created the woman, who also created this family construct of a man and a woman being to produce and be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Watch the next video.
Who take off the body parts and put on women body parts, like breasts and all that, and put on dresses. Are they women or are they still are they women or are they still men?
Sorry, ask the question again.
You know how there are transgenders?
Uh-huh.
There's transgenders now, and they're confused about their identity. So you heard of Bruce Jenner, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know Bruce is a man. Well, he took off the body part. Where you going?
I'm leaving
Why are you leaving?
because
What?
Because what you're saying is extremely
You
offensive.
trying to get me killed?
Come and
Can't
tell me
talk
why.
about this.
You're running?
Yep.
But I thought you were open-minded.
Man, she don't want to die neither.
Open-minded?
No, but you're saying it's hurtful and very dangerous.
But true.
Now, baby, please don't go.
Are you leaving?
Yep.
I thought you were a strong woman. Do you
Yeah.
Well, she can't talk about that. Mess around,
He said-
lose her job.
I thought you was a strong woman.
I was. So you brought up that subject. I
All
think
that
you was going to talk about men and men being weak and men not this. Who you talking about? Not the new woman. That is the new woman. Bruce Jenner is the new woman. He messing around be president. Shucks.
So, do you think that men should be the boss or the head of the house?
I believe the man was designed to be the head of his house.
Oh, that's what you think?
Yeah.
Let's watch this video.
You tell me, please, who is the boss of your house? What do you think? You're his wife, are you?
What do you say?
I said, who is the boss? Who is the boss of
My
your
husband.
What is your nationality? Greek. I'm Greek. Is it always that way in Greek households? The husband is the boss? Yes. Don't the women, the wives, have anything to say about it?
No.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think if you really understand that for what it is and what it was meant to be, then you have no problem with that. Like, and I'll just use myself as an example. Like, my wife doesn't want to be me, bro. She wants to just be the wife. She wants to be the mother. She wants to not carry certain responsibilities. Like, and if you've ever truly experienced that and seen that in its totality, then you would have no issue with it. The people that I feel like have an issue with it, they have a misunderstanding of what that means for a man to lead or be the head or the quote unquote boss, if you want to use that adjective. But nah. But they ain't going to worry about it. The world that's coming, man, they ain't going to worry about it. There will be no more men to be the head of nothing. So, and I ain't even saying that to be funny. It's not an attack on anybody or what they identify as or what they believe, but what we traditionally know men or women to be is changing. It's already changing. Like, so this traditional man, that's going to be long gone. And this is why that video, as far as the kids, there's a truth to that, whether they want to say or whether anyone wants to say, oh, it's an attack or not. But ultimately, the world that's being created there won't be any more representation of the quote unquote man. It's not going to be.
Yo, bro, hold it down for a second. Keep talking. I got to do something first.
It's not going to be a curriculum. It's not going to be like, who's going to teach these things? Who's going to ensure that the quote unquote what we know a man or woman to be doesn't become extinct? You know, and that's the other side of these type of topics where it's like, okay, there's such a push to introduce or for society to now kind of change these labels, if you want to say. I don't even know how to best, and I wish we could get somebody to join in, you know, to help build these conversations, because I don't even want these conversations to seem one-sided. But I just don't think that the world that's going to come, that we're going to evolve to, is even going to be a reflection of whatever we thought the traditional man or head of household or boss man was or is. And I think it's happening. It's happening faster than people think.
but we just don't see it. We're not conscious to it because we too busy worried about when Beyonce concert is. And our world is forever changing. So if you out there in the world, these are things you need to start thinking about. How is the world, these changes in the world, going to impact your kids and reflect who you are? Will you have an identity in this world that's coming?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's get back to the next video. Hold up. Wait a minute. How can I let y'all see this? Hold up.
Strong fathers, they raise their sons to be physically fit, disciplined, masculine, intellectual, emotionally stable, less likely to ever go to jail, and they become productive members of society, and they know the consequences of their actions. A Jezebel, keyword Jezebel. They raise their sons to be emotional, simps, son husbands, a bunch of beta thugs that's very dangerous to society, more likely to go to jail, and they always say, oh, my son is my king. Yeah, King Ahab, a weak king. Since a lot of these baby mamas cannot emasculate the father, guess what they do? They turn the sons into a bunch of strawberry Pop-Tarts, and then they always complain about, oh, we're the most unprotected. Look at what they do to their sons, and then they complain that men want custody of their kids so that they don't pay child support.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's some truth there. But like I said, it just stems right back to the overall agenda that's been in play for so long. We just were blind to it, and now we in a world that, some of us, if you want to say conscious, I don't know, woke, I don't know what you want to call it, are starting to see, these things. And, I don't know, man, we might be too late. Ain't no marching gonna fix this, bro. Ain't no marching. Ain't no it's here, bro. It's here.
Well, all males could go on strike. The men can fix it, but they too weak.
Nah, these men that's I don't even know if these are men anymore. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want to sound like that, but because part of it could be, what we are allowed to see, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't control the images on TV and what's being publicized, what's becoming a headline, what social media is going to reflect. And it could be an agenda even in that, on killing the imagery of what we feel a strong man is, and therefore, no imagery, there's nothing for you to build a likeness towards. There's nothing for you to aspire to be. There are no male icons that you're looking up to. Think about it, man. Not too long ago, maybe people saw Martin Luther King on the news, on a newspaper, saw what he was doing and said, I want to be that. And I'm not saying he's perfect or he's the best example, but maybe they saw Malcolm X and said, man, I would love to be that. Well, those ain't your images no more. Images like that aren't on TV no more. They aren't in your news no more. Most of the images you're getting is jokers like a freaking Saucy Santana type jokers, Lil Nas type jokers, Lil Uzi Vert weirdos. A lot of these Kodak Black, these weirdo jokers who
come on, man, go for Kodak Black, bro.
Bro, he's a weirdo, bro. And again, no offense to him, but is that what I throw it back in your court? That if that's what you want your son to look like, that's how you want him to carry on in society. That's how you want him to articulate himself. That's the imagery you want him to have.
No, sir.
So, but that's what I'm saying. That ain't the imagery. That's not the imagery that's at the forefront of entertainment, at the forefront of your music, at the forefront of heck, even down your politics and everything is starting to get sprinkled with this stuff.
Oh yeah. 5 years, I tell you, they be having sex with a little boy.
It's like whatever version of the world you think that you live in,
No more.
Yeah, that's gone. So that's what I'm saying. Like this idea of a traditional man or even a traditional woman, that stuff is going to be extinct. That's going to be you out there trying to find a dinosaur. Go find the bone, because that's where the world is going. Because anything that's not in alignment with that is getting dealt with. Right now, it's happening very strategically at a rate to where people aren't really raising red flags. And then one day it's going to be like, boom. And it's going to feel like it happened overnight, but it wasn't overnight. This has been a long, I mean, a long warfare that's been happening. Almost an ancient warfare, if you want to say, that's been happening for a long time. And it's been very strategic. And unfortunately, here we are.
Right. Let's watch this video.
Cannot turn a hoe into a housewife. You have to let a hoe be a hoe. When you try to change a hoe and make her a housewife, she's going to resent you. She wants to be a hoe. Let her be that. Stop trying to change people. You can put lipstick on a pig. It's still going to be a pig. But what's going to happen is it's going to resent you because you're taking it out of its natural habitat. Leave hoes in the streets. When you try to take them out of the streets, they're going to resent you because they want to be in the streets. People are doing what they want to do. When you meet a woman, whatever she's doing, that's what she wants to do. Y'all lay on them titties and let them lie and give you all the ideas. Yeah, one day I want to go to school and I just have all these dreams. And if that's what she wanted to do, she would be doing it. She would be on the road to doing that. You coming in there trying to save her is not going to help you. It's going to bite you in your ass and she's going to end up with you.
Facts.
Bro, well, he ain't going to have to worry. All that stuff is being normalized. It's no such thing as a hoe no more, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Like this stuff, like what he talk about, don't even exist no more. It's no such thing as a hoe. It's no such. Look at jokers that would have once upon a time been demonified for how they live. You think about like an Amber Rose type. You think about its feet. Look at like even like a Lori. What's her name? Lori Harvey. Like I'm not even judging these folks. But once upon a time, bro, society would have been slamming these jokers. How many men you going to date? Pick one. Settle down. Get married. Have some kids. The world you living in ain't no such thing as no hoe no more. Ain't no hoe. No, that's your new queen. Get used to it.
No, that's a fact, bro. I mean, all these women. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to really talk about these women no more, bro. Like, honestly, I look at these men as more of a problem threat to me now to these days.
The men are the problem because somewhere along the lines, man, we drunk the juice. We drunk the programming. You know what I'm saying? We allowed ourselves to get bamboozled right out of our position. And this is before like a you or I. Like we just coming up into the world. This thing has already been being shaped and molded to where jokers up, they got suckered into the drug game. Now that was put into play to remove them out of their position. Got suckered into all these different things to where they wasn't desiring to be the men of their house per se. They wanted to now get this image. I want to get to the money. I want a lifestyle. I want this. I want that. And we got bamboozled out of our position to where we was the panhandlers for putting poison into our communities. We were literally hired assassins, bro, to help this agenda that destroyed the black communities, that played a role in destroying the black families, and we got hoodwinked. And then they pipelined us right to jail. After they brought the drugs and stuff to your community and put the images in front of you and gave you your version, if you want to say, of this American dream, and they set all the pieces in place to force you into a lifestyle of being a dope dealer, a drug dealer, and pursuing this misinformed version of what American dream was and family and all those other things. They pipeline you behind right to jail. And then turn around and introduce welfare and all these other programs to what? Ensure that when you got out of jail, nah, she don't need you. Ain't no place for you no more. Ain't no identity for you. Imagine if your identity stemmed from being a provider. Because once upon a time, before Jokers was just straight up, I don't know if you want to say just all gangster thugs and killing folk. Jokers was getting into these things because they thought it was going to be their way to build and take care of their family.
Yep. No. Gangster. Hold on. What you say again? Hold on. Say that last part.
I'm saying before this thing was morphed into this what they televised as gangsters and thugs and jokers shooting to kill each other. The jokers was literally trying to find a way to take care of their families.
To protect the community. Yeah.
Exactly. Like jokers wasn't necessarily getting into this for what it's been hyped up to be. For what the media and everything has made it to be. If that image, this thug, this gangster image was a part of the drug on war pipeline these jokers to jail agenda. Because there was a time in history where the white man, and this ain't to be racist, this is just the facts. Go do your research. Where the white man, the Caucasian man, was selling illegal alcohol, was bootlegging and selling drugs and stuff to do what? They was becoming mayors and governors and police chiefs and starting Fortune 500 companies and becoming presidents. Go do your history, you'll find out a few of your presidents got their money, got their legacy built on drugs and alcohol and the illegal selling of these things. This shift in imagery, this shift was to pipeline these communities to jail, to further destroy these communities. And like I said, we got bamboozled. The programming been in place. We just now have inherited this world that's been being created. And anytime somebody was rising up to have a voice that they felt was going to be a quote unquote, as they say in the legal documents, a black messiah, they had an agenda to destroy them, to ensure that this ain't going to be the image of the black man or a man, period. But specifically speaking to the black community, this is a known fact. The FBI had a whole mission, target. There will not be a black messiah. And if you begin to exhibit the characteristics of such, they put you on a list and identified you. So they gave you your new version of what a man was going to be. And they shifted to these images that do not procreate strong families, strong men and women in society. Period. Go ask some of these jokers who their idol is right now. Go ask them. Go ask them. I promise you, it ain't no author, it ain't no engineer, it's not some no, it's Cardi B. Bro, it's Nicki Minaj. It's Beyonce. It's not people out here that's actually exemplifying what a great woman is in her totality. And I'm not saying that to offend anybody. Heck, if you like Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, and them, that's your business. But I'm just saying, once upon a time, right? Heck, I'm not even saying Oprah's the best example, but jokers wanted to be Oprah. And I ain't saying she's the best example. But look how far away we done got from that. At least Oprah was putting her clothes on. At least these jokers is naked.
It just showed that people are stupid. That's what it really showed. All of this stuff has showed that everybody is basically just like Matrix, like just on autopilot,
Yo, the programming is real, bro. The programming is legit. The programming is legit.
Yo, tell JoJo I said stop all that screaming.
Bro, that's what
We'll be right back with a quick commercial. Oh man.
All right, man. Ah.
We are back from a commercial
Yeah,
break.
quick little break, man. You know, a man had to go do some fathering. You know, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Had to do a little bit of fathering. I apologize.
Yeah.
Apologize.
We'll get to this next video.
Apologize. That boy all up in the live. Hey, listen, here's the whole conversation.
He's screaming. First he's talking low. I'm like, all right. He started to get louder. All right, JoJo, cut it out. All right, y'all. This is a new video right here.
What are your genetics?
Hey, listen, man. I'm not going against no community. I'm with all y'all. I'm with everybody being happy, doing what y'all want to do.
Oh yeah,
So
listen, pause of it. This ain't a shot at nobody's community. You know, it's a really us talking about the world and the different things that shape in the world and where society is going. I'll keep it 100% clear. I don't care what a person's sexual preference is. I don't care if you feel like you a woman or a male or both. That's your business. Like, but ultimately, don't wait too late to look outside at the world that's being shaped around you. That's all I'm saying. You can go ahead and play the video.
Out now, or you'll go home. Being transgender is about the bravest thing you can do.
Why are we mainstreaming delusion?
Why would you call it delusion?
Because Caitlyn Jenner, I'll call it.
Her. You're not being polite for the pronoun.
Because
disrespect.
Okay, forget about disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that every chromosome in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male, with the exception of some of his sperm cells. It turns out that his brain structure is male. It turns out that he still has all of his male appendages. How he feels on the inside is relevant to the question of his biological status.
So you don't know what you're talking about.
What are your genetics?
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
Well, no. That seems very mildly inappropriate for a political discussion. What do you think about that?
Oh, well, that's where we at, man.
Listen, I'm pro whatever you want to be. You want to be a dog, you want to be a cat, bird?
Well, I just think these things get a little. This is where they get messy because they get political. Like, you can feel however you want to feel, but once you start making,
they don't want to get political. Don't forget, they're coming for your children. They're coming for your children. So when you see little Zanaya or whatever, what that boy is, the Wade son or daughter, I don't know, whatever made him feel happy today, or her happy, you know. The same thing.
Like, I don't have it. That's like me feeling some type of way because a person. I like cookies and cream ice cream, but you like butter pecan. I don't care if you like butter pecan. Eat all the butter pecan you want. Just don't make it political and don't make it to where I got that now. I can't have my cookies and cream. I got the. If I don't accept you, if I don't eat butter pecan, I'm a hater. I'm hating. I'm some type of homophobe or this, that, the third. I'm none of the above, man. I got nothing but love for people, respect for people. Listen, the same way I've been black in this world my whole life, and nobody never forced anybody to be black with me. If you wasn't born black, you was able to live in the world that was conditioned to what you was born as. No one ever started saying, hey, we got to find a way to make the world right for these black people. We ain't get, you know how many rights we've been trying to get? It ain't got them yet.
No, word up.
Every group has, off of the back of the African American fight, I'm born legit black. Ain't no questioning that. Ain't no discussing that. You ain't gonna check my DNA and it still shows I got male chromosomes. Yeah, I'm saying my DNA ain't going. Oh, that's like me saying I identify as white. and now I look.
No. Matter of fact, guys, I'm now a white woman.
And I'm perfectly fine with that. You can be that. That's cool.
Now you better respect me like as you respect.
I don't have no problem respecting you as such. I will call you white woman.
And this is why you gotta understand the agenda though. You gotta think about the agenda though. Because when you are in those categories, they come with perks and privileges. It's like American Express. What level you in?
Exactly.
And the higher you go up, the perks, you know.
And that's kind of what I'm getting to. And but like I said, any thoughts that you have, it automatically is categorized as hatred, or you demifying, or you discriminating, or
Toxic
like,
masculinity.
Nah, it's
Toxic
none of that.
masculinity.
It's none of that, man. I just want I also want my rights too.
This is narcissism.
Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, look, I don't care if you like. I don't care. Like, I really don't care if you prefer whatever you prefer. You know what I mean? You can do that in the sanctity of your home. Do that where you do whatever you want to do. The same way I can do whatever I want to do in my home.
Yeah.
But I don't get to go to my neighbor's house and say, well, listen, this is what we want. And it sometimes feel like that. That's all I'm saying. That's my biggest issue with it. You know what I mean? Not even getting into belief systems and those other things. My biggest issue with a lot of this stuff is that I feel like my kids are going to be forced to learn a curriculum that introduce them to things that I don't want them to have to even battle with.
What picture they gonna say to you? What picture
And
kids
you're right.
and
And that's what I got to prepare for. I got to prepare for the fact that I may have to either homeschool my kids or pay for them to go to schools that I feel like reflect, I guess, the world that I want to live in. You see what I'm saying? That's my issue with it. It's like that's the concerning part, because it has become so political to the point that you're going to have to figure out how to create a world that you can live in. Not a world for us all. No, a world that you now can go live in. Because the way this thing is going is where, like, nah, this is the protected class. This is and it's like, yo, like, I don't know, man. Like I said, I would love for somebody to come on the show that can expound on this. And I'm open for the conversation, because maybe I'm tripping.
And don't think if you ever come on this show, we ever going to like be judgmental.
No, I really want to be educated, because, like I said, maybe I'm speaking from a lack of education. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just speaking from my feelings, from my own viewpoints. So I'm open to hearing and exploring these other viewpoints to better understand this thing, man. Because I think it's getting so political to the point that, man, it's just, I don't know, man. The lines is very much, I don't know. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm hating or I'm discriminating or I'm being racist. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't know how I could be racist when I don't have power over any of these groups. I can't hire you. I can't fire you. As a black man, I have nothing in this country. But that's not where I want to operate from. I don't want to be an expression or reflection of hate. So, that ain't my goal. But
all right, let's do this next video.
Yeah,
right here.
go to the next video.
Took my parents to court for having me without my permission, and I won. So the court ordered them to give me $5,000 a month to cover my basic living expenses. Well, they went and had that appealed. So now they don't have to give me any money, and I have to go get a job. And I'm realizing, like, I don't have any work experience, or education. Nowhere's paying me $5,000 a month. So how the hell am I supposed to be able to afford my bills?
I'm blinking.
Like, what? Don't have children if you don't want to support them.
She was serious.
To
She was serious too.
No, she like a grown woman.
She look at her face when she said, "Don't have children if you don't want to support them." She meant that.
Yeah, but your law said that at a certain age you became an adult. So I'm trying to figure out how in the world you sued them.
Oh, you talking about the law? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there at a certain point you are now considered an adult? like a legal adult where you have rights over yourself and govern yourself, you're no longer under the authority of a guardianship? What state was that? How did she get that off? Man, listen, that state let everything fly.
Man, you better be careful.
That state let everything fly. I wish one of my kids would. Tell me, I'm gonna sue you. She every bit about done at 30 years old, mid 20s.
I see you in court.
Yeah, well, guess what? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll file bankruptcy first before I pay you. Listen, I will liquidate everything and file bankruptcy before.
Let's watch this.
Is associated with adult men as opposed to just humanity or humans. So they're trying to avoid the word man. So if we can eliminate that word, then things would be much better and people would be less offended.
I think I've now decided that the most offensive word in the language is college professor.
Oh.
Okay, because to me that connotes dumbness and misuse of power. Do you think they would have the guts to go to Goldman Sachs in New York and say, change your name now or else?
They probably wouldn't shop there. Because
what if they were shopping at Goldman Sachs? They might come up short because it's a bank.
No man needed.
Isn't there a man? Isn't there a man in the word woman?
Call me a person. I'd be less offended. No need for woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the end, the revolution always eats itself, as we often point out. Kathy, thank you for that guided tour of the linear regions. Appreciate it.
Word man is associated.
Did you get a good look at that video?
Like I said, the man is going to be extinct. Y'all jokers think it's a game. The man is
get us
going
out
to
of here.
be extinct because that is your next president right there. That's your next senator, your next councilwoman, your next. That's it. And it's not going to be, we're going to be the minority. It ain't going to be about black. We're going to be the minority. And the people that's making legislation, that's making laws, that's building this new world, this is where it's at. And that's the majority. And go ahead.
And that's a good point. Now, all men, white men, Spanish men, all y'all, I want y'all to understand, y'all need to stop this race bait and get on the man side.
Facts. Nah, it's listen.
It's a war. It's a war. It's a war.
While you caught up in race, the agenda is moving forward. Like while you watching the Capitol get rioted and you worried about Trump and those other nonsense, and you worried about who buying all that nonsense, the agenda is moving forward. It's moving forward. It's moving forward.
Let's watch this one right here.
Play games, man. Listen to this.
Madam President, what's your position on decriminalizing homosexual acts in Liberia?
I've already taken a position on that we're not going to sign any such law.
You won't sign any law to decriminalize?
I won't sign any law that has to do with that area. None whatsoever. We like ourselves just the way we are.
So, in essence, homosexuality for two gay men under the books is illegal in Liberia.
We've got certain traditional values in our society that we'd like to preserve.
So you're saying you wouldn't decriminalize that current law?
I've just said to you, we're going to maintain our traditional values.
African.
What do you think about that?
Well, I just say my condolences because the world is changing.
They gonna kill her.
And I applaud her country for standing on whatever they believe and wanting to, hold on to that. There once upon a time was some type of world out there where, as unperfect or imperfect as the world was, you could believe something and it was perfectly okay for you to believe it wherever you was and exercise that wherever you was. Now, see, what the world fails to realize is this, and this is no judgment, but all them jokers that felt hated by the world, that felt like they had to go be in the closet, that felt like they wasn't able to come outside and hold hands and be accepted as they were, they coming for you. They coming for you. That's the reality. And this is why you hear them bring up the churches and things so much, because they feel like religion put them underneath a rock, had them as scarlet letters out here in society, to where they could not openly be who they wanted to be. And they coming for it. They coming for all of it. And there is a part of this where there is some hurt, there's some trauma, there is some get
guys.
back.
All right.
You know,
We've
just
been
put it
coming
out
for
there.
them. I don't want to keep coming for them like that.
I'm not coming. I'm just speaking
change
the
the
truth,
video.
bro. I'm speaking the truth.
I don't know why there's so many of these videos.
Yo, you're gonna have to go in the closet, okay? I'm gonna tell you right now. You're gonna have to go in the closet. I'm gonna have to go in the closet.
Let's watch something a little bit more life.
Go in the closet.
Let's motivate the people. We don't need to put these people in these dark light. This is darkness, man. Let's light it
All
up.
right, well, go to something like play the Chris Rock comedy scene. He talk about Will Smith, the smack, the whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that's what we should have been talking about. Well, we got some subjects. See, guys, I'm sorry. I've been really out of touch.
You see, he is the one putting these videos up. All right, he's forcing me to talk about these topics. You know that program we talk about? You talk about that agenda we've been talking about?
Son, not
the
me.
program. Who keep putting these clips on and make it be expressed and reflect on these subjects?
Not me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
They just in
listen,
my.
you've
I
been-
believe it was emails.
You've
you
been
sent.
putting
I
them
don't know
on for an hour and 20 minutes.
No, what happens is people send me emails. I'm just going through my email.
Oh, so it's not you. It's the people that send them to you. They want you to talk
It's
about
the
that.
people. Yeah.
I just make sure y'all stand up for us when they come to burn us with the torches, because we talk about this stuff. Make sure y'all stand up and say, nah, we sent the email. We requested this topic, this video to be discussed.
Word up.
Y'all know where I stand on it.
75 years. That's how much time you get if you're lucky. 75 years. 75 winters, 75 springtimes, 75 summers, and 75 autumns. When you look at it like that, it's not a lot of time, is it? Don't waste them. Get your head out of the rat race and forget about the superficial things that preoccupy your existence and get back to what's important now. Right now, this very second. And I'm not saying drop everything and let the world come to a grinding halt. I'm saying that you can become a seeker. You can be loving more. You can be taking some chances. You can be living more. You can be spending more time with your family. You can be getting in touch with the part of you that lives instead of fears, the part of you that loves instead of hates.
Stop hating.
I'm all for the love, man. I'm all for it. I'm all for the love. Love is what we need.
Yeah.
To make the world a better
Let's
place.
get right back to it.
Sitting there, you want to be a wife, you want to be loyal. How can you do that if you're practicing, sucking fun dip every week? You're not practicing cooking. You're not practicing mental health. You're not practicing how to talk to him, how to treat her, how to be submissive, and how to talk to him in a nurturing way. You're practicing sucking pee-pee. That's not the same thing.
But what if that's not what you want? What if you don't want to be?
I'm only speaking on women who want to be wives. All the other OF hoes and all those type of girls, I'm not talking about. Not you, but in general, being honest. Imagine sitting there. You want to be a wife, you want to be loyal. How can you do that if you're practicing, sucking fun dip every week?
I just want to know, how can you do that? How can you be a wife? You suck dick every weekend. How can you be a wife? You riding on the dick carousel. Come on now. You ride that dick carousel for 56 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years.
Man, I will say this: whatever you're looking for in life, right? You got to be a reflection of that. So you can't just think you're gonna magically, be a wife or be a husband, but live a lifestyle that doesn't exhibit that. You don't just magically be that. You ain't gonna magically just discipline yourself from not, as she said, fun stick. What she say? Fun dip. What did she say? You ain't gonna just undo that habit that you partaking in every weekend.
No, because all they do is they get in a relationship and keep running that woman, telling that man, oh, let's go to the next video. Hold up. Wait a minute.
You argue with them, they keep insisting on fantasy. So you're like, no, I know the dates, I know the times, I know what I said, I know what happened. And you insist on that, and they insist on changing it back into their fantasy. And we'll be on the outside of this going, well, you're just fucking lying. I can't stop you from lying all the time. And yes, they are deliberately lying, and they are deliberately gaslighting the target, but they also live in a lie. Their life is a lie. So the way to think of this is, imagine you have a human being. They were a small child once, an authentic, real, vulnerable small child. Things happened that they couldn't tolerate, so they built a shell around themselves. And inside of that shell, they split from painful reality. And when they look through the shell, they never see reality as it is. It's always blurred. This shell is a filter. And they see on the inside of the shell a mirror that they've created, but not a clear mirror, like a funhouse circus sort of a mirror, that shows them what they choose to see in order to survive. So when you're arguing with a narcissist and they're clinging on stubbornly, so they have to be stubborn for it to be MPD. It's a rigid personality disorder. It's because they're like holding on to a life raft. They're at sea. They're in crisis perpetually. They live their lives in crisis.
Gotta believe it.
That's why they go from one drama to the next. That's all they know. Yeah. And their narcissistic delusion is the life raft they cling on to. So people will come to me and say, can't you give them therapy? Can't you help them? I'm like, how? How am I going to convince a child?
Come on, man. I gotta run through these videos real quick because I want y'all to get that good. That was a good one, man. Come on, man. That's the goes for all of y'all, men, female, kids. You kids are narcissists. I know a couple of you. Come on, man. Shit. I'm sorry, guys. Hold up. Ah, dang, man.
This is what you have to remember. The average black woman in America don't get no older than about 14. So just talk to her and deal with her like you dealing with a 14-year-old. Don't come at her like you dealing with an equal, because she's not going to be able to accept that. You got to go way back. And we cut off at about 14 to 15. We don't develop and mature no further until we get some new information and accept some different information. Look at a lot of my lectures on YouTube. People have put everything I got out there just about. They rob me every day. So go and look those up.
I'm sorry,
and listen
Mama.
to some of those. And they're in short enough clips that you'll be able to get some information and be able to share that with her. Because I give it out really straight and really direct. And I give us useful tools that we can use every day like you're talking about. But if you love her, and she gonna fight against right, because that's how we have been reared by the enemy. That ain't her you fighting. You fighting the demon in her that was put in her by the enemy. This is
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that demon, but not all of them. Not all of them. 90% of these goddamn hoes ain't shit. But let's go to the next video.
I raised my daughter differently than my mother raised me. The rearing I got from my mother, words cannot express. I could live in any time, I could live in any country, I could live on any planet, and I would be fine.
What was the key?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. There are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. And the other is the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it. I would teach my daughter to look within herself first, before career projections, before accepting ideologies and theories and philosophies. I would tell her to look within herself, to discover her own truth, and to live in the experience of constant awareness of that truth within. I will not raise my daughter differently than my mother.
Being aware of your truth. If you broke and you poor, don't go spend no money. If you come from a single, let me show. I'm fucking with y'all. I ain't even in the energy right now. I'll just say, hey y'all. Till next time. I appreciate everybody for coming out. Appreciate everybody for showing up. I'll probably do another live in a couple hours and maybe tomorrow or something. I'm trying to get more motivated to do this, but you know. But all right, guys. Till next time.
All right, guys.